Okay. So first things first, I'm just gonna start a new level, okay? Because this one, I just have this huge, um, very huge landscape here, and I know it's gonna break when we try to add water. So I'm gonna make a new level that's small one. So file, new level, just the basic will do. Create. All right. Just gonna delete the ground here, and I will quickly make a landscape. Um, let's do a big one. Maybe that's too big. No, I think that's good. Okay, create. All right, so now I'm just gonna go back to the level itself. Perfect. Let's start with the modeling stuff. So we probably remember from last semester, if we click here, we can add shapes, or even better, oh yeah, shapes to our project, or even better, we can go here in window and enable the place actors panel, which is going to make our life easier. Window, place actors, click there, boom. Now we have access to those actors, or it's the same as we have here. Here we have basic, lights, shapes, the same as we have here, okay? So it's just a different way to have access to the same objects. I prefer this way, I think it's easier. So here on shapes, or even better, geometries, you probably remember from last semester, if you want to model, I don't know, a house, I would probably like scale this thing. Let's say that I want to make a wall. I'm going to make this one kind of skinny. Now I kind of have a wall here. I can press Alt and make it into a copy and keep like using different forms to do stuff. Or I can, I don't know, drop a box, make it hollow. Then I can expand it, or even better, I can expand here, I don't know, 5 times. Oops. Okay, now I have, if I press end, I'm gonna see it on the floor. If I drop another box here that is on the subtractive mode, we can punch a hole here, and now we have some kind of opening to a room, right? So those are all things that we learned last semester. Well, a little bit more than that, but anyway, you get the idea. So let's do something different. So this technique here is still very useful, and we're gonna keep using it. However, I wanna show you something new. So here under selection mode, instead of selection mode, we're gonna choose modeling. And now, if you are a modeler, you're gonna be very happy to see that we have, I don't know, box modeling tools here and a bunch of other stuff, which I don't know how to use because I'm not a modeler. However, we have here the cube grid. Down here, poly model, we have the cube grid. So as soon as I click, I'm gonna know if I'm creating a new asset or changing an existing one. That's something that's gonna be useful soon. And let's see here. So now we have a grid, okay? If I select within this grid, now, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares by 5 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can press Q, or sorry, E in this case to bring it up, or Q to bring it down, or pull or push. Those are the technical terms. So those two buttons, they do the same. So pull, you're gonna pull up, and push, you're gonna push down. Okay? So let's say we can do some cool stuff here. So for example, let's say that I wanna make this part here higher, and here in the back, I still wanna make this part here higher. And I want to punch a hole here. So if I select the side, or maybe here, let's bring this one up. And here I want to make a hole. Okay. So it's a very simple way to like model different things. It's very useful for what we're doing, gray blocking big areas. Even better. So we have a few things here. So those are just the basic concepts. We can change here the grid power. So now we have the grid power of 5. We are using cubes that are 1 by 1 meter, roughly. If we change here the grid power to, I don't know, go lower, like 2, look now how many subdivisions we have here. So I can repeat the same process. Let's say that I want to make, I don't know, a border here of 2 rows. So it's a very easy way to model our level and do some extra detailing. Although we probably remember from last semester, in a gray block we should not have a lot of details, just the basic forms, right? It's supposed to be a gray block. But this tool here enables us to do a lot of interesting things. What else we have here? What else we can do? So now, let's say that I don't have any way to get up there because it's probably too high for my character. I can test, by the way, and it's already in the world and it has collision. So let's say, so I have it selected. I'm going to click again on the, where is it? The grid. Here, cube grid. So now it's saying that I'm editing an existing asset instead of making a new one because I had it selected. Okay, so I would choose here the corner mode. So you just have to select an area first. So for corner mode, let's select a specific area and we're going to click here corner mode. This way now we have the vertices exposed to us, meaning that we can manipulate those now. So how do we do it? We click on, for example, these two. If I press shift, I'll be able to select them both. And now same thing, Q and E. So now we can have a ramp. And I will do another ramp. Oh yes, once you are done, you click done. And same thing here. So corner mode is Z, I believe. Yes, Z is the quick access. And finally here, so done, and I will do the same here on the bottom. So corner mode, select these two guys here, and boom. Okay, done. So there you go. I have an altar of some sort that I just created. Okay. Do we have any other things here? Slide forward. Oh, okay, yeah. The slide forward and slide back. These can be useful. So let's say that we are making a platformer or a platform. So here, I'm just going to build it up. Or I think I'm going to do it here. So let's say I have here these two faces selected, and I want to build a platform here to the side, right? So that's where the slide back and forward comes in place. So when you slide, it's almost like you are building, so you're pressing Q and E, but you are not adding any volumes. So now if I press, oops, wrong key. If I press E, now I can make a platform. Shift E, I will add an empty space, and here I keep adding more things. Does it make sense? So now if I play, I literally have the ramp. Oh, I guess it was easier to go up on the stairs. I need a better ramp. And now here I have the platforming section. One thing that's very important to pay attention, so when I go back from the modeling mode to the place actors, now you can see this model, it's a single thing, okay? So I'm literally creating a new static mesh, as we can see here. If I double click, I can see the static mesh. Okay, so when we are modeling things on the modeling mode, we are creating new static mesh. So right now we have that one selected. I want to make a new one. So I'm just going to click any other place, cube grid, and now we are creating a new asset. So let's say I want to make, I don't know, you can make like a house. Let me quickly create a house here. Probably power 4. Yeah, grab half of it. Bring it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah. So let's say that I have here is the most beautiful house you've ever seen. Right, now we just need a ceiling. Okay, there you go. We have this beautiful house. Let's make some openings here and there just to have some fun. All right, now we have this beautiful house. I can obviously go in and do things. Wow, it's totally out of scale, so that's something important to keep in mind. If you remember our technique last semester, before doing any kind of modeling, it's very useful to have your character. Oops. Okay, so here I'm gonna grab the character mannequin. Where is it? Here we have many, and now we are good to start modeling. Okay, I skipped that step, so now I can see that my scale is totally off. But anyway, that's fine. Let's pretend that the scale is awesome. And now what's really cool, if we go back to selection mode, now I have this asset that I can duplicate, right? And now I have a block, a street block. And let's say that you want to change something. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back there to modeling mode, select the asset that you want to change. Now you click on cube grid, editing existing asset. So we can come here and let's say I want to make another opening here and another one there. Accept. And now all my other models, they will be mirroring all the changes that I've made. Okay? So you can build one asset and have it be populating your own level, and later you can just like make changes and it's going to change for everything. Okay? So this can be very, very useful. And we can do from like just objects to houses to entire like sections of the map. If you have like a castle, you can do it all using this tool. And the other volumes that we learned how to use before. Okay, that's for the cube grid. There are some extra things here that I just want to touch upon. So let's say we are here editing this thing. You can make a selection, and if you press the wheel of your mouse, you can move the selection around, what can be very useful. And what else? We have here some like shortcut information. Hold control. Oh yeah, this one's very useful. I almost forget. Okay, so let's make, if you press control and then you press the middle the mouse wheel button on your keyboard, you're gonna show these rotate gizmos here. So now we are building on this plane here that is parallel to the ground. But maybe you want something that's like this, that's inclinated. Maybe we want to make now the, the roofing for this house here. So that's how we can go about it. So here I can see it's gonna grow in this direction. Maybe if I change like this, it's gonna be better.
That's so
Hmm?
nice. So nice. The last pack.
Oh yeah, it will be very very useful. Yes.
I spent so much time trying to figure out a roof.
Yep.
Like, I just did a 3D model and I'm like, I'm not figuring this out. And just import the 3D model.
So we can totally move those things around. Here I can literally move it, and now we have some more roof. Okay, it's horrible, but you get the idea. Okay, I think that's the only thing that I was missing here. And you have your cheat sheet right here on the shortcut info on the tool. Okay, if you don't remember how to do something, you can just check here. Or if you hover over pull, push, and all the other buttons, this is what it does. By the way, what the hell is flip? So flip, pay attention here. We're gonna flip it around. That's it. So now I'm building on the opposite side. Okay, my E is gonna be my Q, and my Q is gonna be my E. If I flip again, now the opposite. Okay, it's not super useful, but can be useful. Okay, any questions? No. Okay, this modeling tool it's quite simple actually. Yeah, keep changes. Now they all have this ugly roof. What else we have here? Well, I think we did it last week, like adding big rocks. So if you want to add rocks from Quixel, right away it's very easy. We click here and then Quixel Bridge. Here I will search for rock face on 3D assets, and I'll get. Oh, let's get. Oh, this one's a pretty big one. I was playing with it this week. This one. Okay, huge. It's in the name. Perfect. You just have to sign in, unfortunately. It would be easier if you didn't have to. But okay, I'm already in. Perfect. So first we have to download. By the way, quality nanite should be your quality. That's what I recommend. Download. Yes.
Will the nanite quality work for like home computers?
Yes, if you are in a Real 5, yeah, it should work.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know about.
Yeah, it's probably less expensive than the other model.
Oh, really? I thought
Probably.
nanite was like gonna be like an ultra.
No, nanite's not that bad actually. It's just the way that the engine will handle things. So you must have a computer that can handle the engine. But if you have the right specs, nanite will do its trick, or Unreal will do the trick for us. Okay, and here now I'm gonna click Add, and we're gonna add to somewhere in the project. It's gonna be under MagScans 3D Assets. Cool. Now we can literally just go there, and grab the asset. Drag and drop it into your scene. It's gonna take a while, but yeah, there you go. Now we have it. Oh yeah, let me show you something cool. So let's say that in your landscape, you have like a tall mount somewhere. So let's say that you have a rock face like this, and here you have like your playable area. Okay, let's pretend this is a full-grown mountain. So what we can do, or what I suggest you to do, that's something that you can find in many games. For example, my beloved The Elden Ring. What they do there, they grab these assets and they position them kind of on the face of the rock. Let's make it a little bit bigger so it fits in there. Is it the right size? Yes, it is. Okay, so what they do, they kind of cover the face of the terrain. So you can see a bunch. Yeah, so there you go. Now we have kind of a rock face in there. So for the other side, oh, this one's only one side. Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate it this way instead. Okay, new asset. Aha, there you go. So if we position them in a good place, we should be able to. Okay, now here it's not looking very good. We can go back to the landscape mode. In this case, probably flatten would be the best option. I'm gonna grab the lower area and I will just push into the assets. And yay, that's good. It destroyed here on the top, so I will change here my fall off to 0 or almost 0. And I'm gonna work my way here up. Okay, so now I have the rock face. Yeah, maybe you're gonna have something like this. Once we have the textures, probably it's not gonna be a big deal, but of course, maybe you already have like a different rock. You can just throw the other rock in front. Oops. Okay, so now we cannot see our terrain under. Okay, so that's it. Oh yeah, here on the top it doesn't look that great. So what we can do, we can keep polishing it. So for example, we can make it smaller a little bit. We can just like bring it up a little bit. And now if I get the smooth tool, I can smooth out these edges. So it looks a little bit better. We can always put more assets in here to make it better. It's not the best. Just make it a little bit higher so it's going to smooth out better. Okay, once you're happy with it, okay, now it's a little bit better. Okay, once you're happy, well, we're gonna need to do some color correction here. So if we go to selection mode, we can select, let's say that I wanna keep everything red. So what I can do, I can double click here on the material. This one probably has like an albedo that we can change. Yep, albedo, let's see. Yeah, cool. So we can sample from the rock to see if we get like a nice color. No, not at all. Yes.
If we just chunk the material from that acid and put it on the other one, would that work or would it stretch it all weird?
It's gonna be kind of weird, but we can try. So this one's
I did
called
try other stuff, but I think it's probably
Huge Canyon. Let's see. Ah, it's not that bad actually. Wow, that's good. Okay, cool. But you see here, here's not
yeah, exactly.
great. It's because the material is mapped to the asset that we're using. So here we probably have, I don't know, an area where,
Plants that are covered up.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
totally do some makeup. But we can also change the texture. But we can do both. It doesn't really matter. But for example, here we can change the albedo, something more like it. Now we can bring it up. Maybe more red. Yeah, there you go. It's close enough. Close enough. Okay. Um, yeah, those are the big rocks.
What is that? Albedo?
Albedo,
What does it mean?
it means the color. That's it. Yeah, albedo is color. Let's check the materials. We're gonna next class we're gonna talk only about materials, and we're gonna be pros at making our own materials and everything. Yes.
Are you gonna do a ground cover example next class?
A ground cover? Yes. Yeah, we're gonna have procedurally generated landscape material. So where we have faces that are, we have like an angulation on the face that is too high, we're gonna apply rock instead of grass, and grass on everything else or
Yeah, it's supposed to be
whatever we want. And if you have like mountains with snow on the top, we can do it as well. So after a specific threshold, we're gonna blend with snow instead of using grass, for example. You're gonna do some cool stuff. So albedo means the color. Oh, let me show you in a better place. Come on, I wanna open. Aha, there you go. Oh, those are the material attributes that we're gonna see next week. Base color is our albedo. Metallic means, well, if it's metallic or not, is either 1 or 0. Specular, we're not going to use for now. Roughness is how rough it is, so it can be very shiny or not shiny at all. We're not going to use this one. Emissive color, if we have any color inside. Opacity, if we are using opacity, but it's not recommended because it takes a lot of processing power. Opacity mask is to punch holes on the mesh. We're going to use this one on the landscape as well to make the cave, for example. Normal, those are things that add volume to our texture without actually adding polygons. So it's very, very like a bump map. Yes, yes. Tangent, I'm not really sure why it's useful. Word position offset, if you want to anchor your texture on the world, for example. Subsurface color, that's more for skin and things that happen like when you have two surfaces and you can see them both. Skin is something that happens when we have light, for example, coming on our skin. We're gonna have the tone on the top surface of the skin, and we also gonna have a little bit of red that comes from our blood when the sun or the light touches our blood in our face, and we can see a little bit through. Or in Finding Nemo, those beautiful, I don't know if you ever noticed, but let me show you an example. This is something that they uh, kind of created for the movie or perfected for the movie. Good examples. Well, here maybe is a good example. So you can see here that the light is shining through the fins here. So where the things closer to the body is darker, and here it gets bright because the light's passing through. So that's subsurface scattering. Or even here on the face, this kind of glow that we have here, it's on the skin, but you also have a subsurface that is kind of the like the meat of the fish inside. So we get this nice kind of glowy effect or see-through. The anemone happens similarly. So it's a pretty cool technique. Quite old, as you can see, but very, very nice. Well, we're gonna go over all of these next week, so I'm just not gonna save here. But in general, when we download things from Megascans, they call the color albedo. That's just a fancy name for albedo. But all the others, like roughness, normal, those are things that we can see there as well. Okay, so those are the big rocks. We can also just like have a biggest rock somewhere in a world. We can have this one in the background. Right, it's the very same rock, but it looks like something else. And let's say that you want to make more assets. There you go. We have a new kind of rock. Okay. Yeah, and it looks pretty good from afar. I was learning something yesterday. I never tested, so let's see. We can right click, and then we go into level and create packet level actor. We're gonna make these two forms here into an actual new actor. So yeah, just leave it as it is. Okay. Now we have to save it somewhere. So I'm just gonna save here under Megascans, 3D assets. This one is my 2x huge rock. Just name it whatever you want. If it's a static mesh, I recommend starting with SM underscore, right? So we keep everything organized. So static mesh, 2 times huge rock. Yes, save it. Boom. Now we can literally drag and drop this brand new asset anywhere we like, rotate and manipulate whatever way we like. For example, let's make it big this way. But I don't know, I want to change it, so I'm going to right click, level, and edit. So now everything is grayed out, just this one is available for doing changes, and I'm gonna put this new asset here on the top, so we're gonna be able to see it very easily. I'm just demonstrating, okay? A funny hat. Okay, so once you are done, right click, level, and commit. Okay? Now we have a big hat there, and look at here, we have it here as well. It's just that the normal is facing the wrong direction. So everything we do in one, we're gonna apply to all the other copies that we have in our scene, but only if we open it through like editing the level package actor, we're gonna be changing it. Okay, so now I can just delete and save once again, commit. Boom, now we are back to normal, and I can keep adding things in here and there without changing the original asset. Okay, so that's another cool trick that we have on our sleeve to make the world building a little bit faster. And by the way, if we play, we probably don't have any collisions yet here. Let me double check. Yeah, we don't have any collisions. So, oh, we do have in this one. Okay, so depending on the asset, maybe they have collision or not. So how do you enable collision? Do you remember? We have to open the static mesh. I recommend clicking on it and just double clicking here, or you can find it on your content drawer. Here we are inside the static mesh. We can, so this one has nanite enabled because we downloaded it this way. If you download it without nanite, you just click here enable nanite, and apply changes, and it's going to convert into nanite. We're going to do it for another asset. And here I'm just going to look for a collision. So col works fine. And here, instead of project default on collision complexity, we're going to use complex collision as simple. Save.
Is that what it makes the collision rocks kind of just like very loosely following?
Yes. Yes. Oh, actually, it's going to be perfect.
Oh,
Not loosely, but this one's perfect. Yeah.
This is simple to use. Okay.
So if we try now, we're going to bump our heads against the volume. Okay, so that's a very easy way to make your collision enabled on the assets. Let me see this one. I think this one is not enabled yet. Nanite. Oh, by the way, look this. If we change our lit view mode to nanite triangles, now we can see all those beautiful triangles that are nanite enabled working. So check this one out. Here we are very close to this rock here. So we see these tiny triangles. That's the simplification that the engine is making to show us all the polygons that we have here. So we have a huge amount of polygons here. It would totally break a project if we were using something that's not Unreal Engine 5 or Nanite more specifically. And here on the back, you can see here bigger triangles. So depending how far you are from the object, we're going to see more or less triangles. So the engine will simplify the geometry to make it run on the software, on the hardware you have. So if I go away, you can see that slowly it's changing the complexity of many triangles. That's how nanite works. If I'm really far away, look how big the triangles start getting. Yes?
This might be a little bit of a complicated question, but like, what did games do before nanite? Like, was it just like faded out or like lowering the capacity? Or?
Great question. So we have something called LODs, or level of detailing. Let's see. So this guy here doesn't have nanite, this one. So let's check it out. Okay, so if we search here for LOD, it's on auto, and we have. Oh, can I change? Okay, that's weird. Anyway, well, we have 3 LODs in here. Oh, it's weird that I cannot change it. But if I go further away, let's see if it. Mm, oh, here. Okay, number of LODs 4. I was checking on the wrong place. So let's make it like 5. Apply changes. So level of detail is something that the engine does automatically for us since Unreal Engine 4. And let me change here. So that's my, where I can visualize the, oh, I don't remember. But there's a way that we can change the LODs here. Oh, okay, cool. So here's my LOD 0. It's, well, it looks great, perfect. If I go to LOD 5, we don't have as many details. Okay, so that's how it used to be. Or some assets, we're still not going to work with nanite necessarily. So we are still using LODs. It's still current technology, but that's the biggest change. So look here, I think here we can see the difference. So here's the simplified version, and here's the high poly version. Okay.
The whole point is like the player isn't like near it, right? That's like when
Yeah.
the player's far. So why? What's the point of that?
What's the point? Okay, so first point, you before we used to have a cap on the number of polygons for different assets. Now you can just do whatever you want.
Okay.
Not this, because then the file is going to be ginormous. But yes, you can technically have as many polygons as you need now.
Okay.
And another big change. Nanite will load right away. Before,
Oh, you have to load each. LOD.
each LOD, yes. And also, I don't know if it happened to you, probably it happened before, you uh, not fast track, but like teleported to a new location, or you just entered into a new location in the game, and then you start seeing the textures going from low poly to like high poly versions of it. That's because of LOD.
That makes sense. Okay.
So now you really don't
Ah, okay.
It's not statistics class, right?
No,
And
no problem. Okay, so that's the biggest difference. So let's enable Nanite here. It's super easy. So we're gonna double click. Enable Nanite support is literally the first option that we have here. Apply changes. It's gonna think for a while. Looks like garbage, but it's just because it's compiling. Now if we go back and check our triangles, ta-da, okay, and we can see right away that this is a huge asset. Look how many polygons we have here, and this one's a little bit smaller that I scaled up because we have way less information here. In theory, there is no limit, but I was testing with like huge textures yesterday at home, and it said, "Oh, you don't have enough memory. Thank you." So I still have to find like what is the balance or how many we can have of the same thing on the same time. Okay, so we have the big things. We learned how to make your rock faces look a little bit more like rock. Of course, later we're gonna have some textures that will help to blend even better. But I still feel that landscape is not really good to make like a flat face, a rock face. It looks pretty bad. Looks like a PlayStation 2 game instead of something that we could do today. So I recommend using, if you have rock faces like I have here, to do something similar to this one in a few areas. We're not going to do the whole map because it's just too big, but if you want to have an area that looks amazing, that's how you should do it. Oh yeah, small rocks. So let's go into the foliage again. If you remember, last semester we learned about foliage or manual painting foliage. How does it work? Well, we just drag and drop whatever static meshes we want to use as foliage in here, and we start painting. So I want to bring some rocks over because I don't think we have any rocks here. So once again, oh, wrong button. Here. Okay, so I want a rock. I want a rock. Dun, dun, dun. 3D assets. Okay, cool. Here we have tiny rocks that can be useful. So sandstone one, and something that looks a little bit different like you. And finally, I don't know, like a cluster of rocks like you might be good. Okay, once it's downloaded, is it downloading at all? Yes, yes. Okay, cool. All right, you can click here on this green arrow to export right away to your project, or here, sorry, not green, blue arrow, or the blue button here to add to your project. They are both the same. Okay, we have that one. Waiting. Come on. You're already finished. Let me add. Oh, anyway, let's keep going. So here, foliage. Uh, let's open our content drawer. Sandstone rock. Literally gonna drag and drop here my static mesh. Now I can add it to my landscape. Okay, it's on my brush. So things that we can do here, or we should do, I don't know if you remember, but we can totally change parameters here. So first of all, density, I think that's just too dense. So maybe 10 is a good number. No, it's still very dense. Maybe 5. Yeah, 5 looks a little bit better. So density 5, radius is basically how close one rock can spawn to another rock. So in this case, they can literally spawn on the same location. I just want to add maybe, I don't know, 50 centimeters. That's how big my rocks can be. Scaling, uniform. So let's do from 1 to 5. Now we're going to have rocks ranging from, well, the original size, 1 to 5 times the same size. And as you can see here, we already have them rotating. They're not facing the same direction, so that's good. Here on advanced, do we have anything that's important? No. Z offset. So what is the Z offset? Right here, right now, we can see that our rocks are sitting on the landscape. Here we can even see a little bit of a gap between the rock and the ground. If we want to make it go into the earth, we can change this Z offset here from, I don't know, minimum can be minus 0.5. So 0.05, that's 5 centimeters, to minus 0.1, that is 10 centimeters. Now, let me erase these and put on the side. And you can see here that now we are, no, not enough. It's probably minus 10, let's see. And minus 10, let's just stick to 10. Okay, now we are 10 centimeters under ground, okay? So it looks like they're actually sitting on the ground instead of, or they're actually on the ground instead of sitting on it. Okay, and we can change this one. Maybe I want minus 5, oh sorry, minus 5 for the minimum and minus 10 for maximum, so we can have different heights going on here. And I'm probably gonna increase my radius to like 1 meter maybe. Yeah, now I don't have them spawning one on top of another. Okay, and that's just one rock. What else we can do here? Align to normal. That's something that here, for example, works pretty well for rock. But if we had, we're gonna see it later. If we have the trees, for example, we don't want to align them to normal. It works well for rocks for now. Here we can say the slope angle. So for example, here you can see I'm painting, but here there is, in this region here, I cannot paint, right? It's because of my maximal angulation here of 45 degrees. So if my landscape goes over 45, I'm not going to be able to paint anything. So if I want to paint in here, I have maybe 80 degrees in there. It's very, very vertical. Now I can paint. Okay, so for example here, this is a 90 degree. I cannot paint, but if I go over 90, or at least 90, come on, paint. Maybe it's because, oh yeah, there you go. Just because of the density. So now I can paint even on a sheer angle, right? So we can change those parameters. Of course, different foliage, you're gonna need different parameters for it to work properly. Is there anything else here that I'm missing that's cool or important? Maybe we can change here the random pitch. Yes.
If you were to change the colors on those, would it do it to everyone? Or?
Yes. So if I go here, so now it's just too white. I want to make it red just like the other ones. Let's go back to our selection mode. Oh, I don't even have to go back there. So I'm gonna open the material or the texture. We can do on the texture or material. I think the material is better because then we can go back in time if things are not working. And the same thing, turn on albedo here, double click, find your reference, and actually that's perfect. Okay, now let's go back to foliage. Okay, we have our first item there. We probably finished downloading the other ones. I'm just gonna add to the project so we can put it later. And I also want to try a 3D plant. Let's grab wild grass. This looks cool. Yeah, this one looks fine. Let's download this one. I wish we could see the scale of the plants. That would be so nice. But anyway, let's see. And we don't have like big plants or trees for that matter, which is pretty sad. So for trees, I recommend you going on the Unreal Marketplace. They have some free trees there that you can use. But on Megascans, they don't have it yet. They just have, for example, the trunk. I will show you. Here on garden plants, we have a few ones, but it's basically just a trunk. No, it's not here. Where is it? Tropical, maybe? Maybe let me just try tree. Yeah, so for trees, we have just like these weird props. It's not the whole tree, which I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, you can even download things like this. So a bunch of roots or some sticks to scatter around your environment. Dead trees, they work really well too. Those are all in my project now. Okay, so now should be getting the footage. It's probably a version thing, but in the new version, whatever you click here plus foliage. All the foliage you have from Megascans will be sitting in here. I don't know why it's not showing up, but no problem. We can find them here. So we have here tundra, our stick. We have actually this one. I think it's better if we apply manually. So we're just gonna right click and remove. It's a good way to remove things that you don't want. What else we have here? Yeah, this one too. And where are the plants? Pretty sure I added to the project. Have I? If you go in collections, you can see, or local, you can see the things that you have locally downloaded. So this one's not on the project yet. Now it is. Okay. Oh, it's in 3D plants. Okay, that's why. And finally here, so 3D plants, white grass, and here we have a bunch that we can choose from, right? So I'm just gonna choose one for now, and I will show you. Oh, okay, they're all here. Perfect. So let's say I want to paint this one. Oops. I have to uncheck the ones that I have that are painting. Okay. So now only the ones that are lighter are the ones that I'm actually painting. And here we're gonna see the problem with LODs. Yeah, you can see that my performance is low. Okay, so here the problem with LODs, they look good up close, but look how they change to this horrible grass in the background. So what we can do in this case, oh, jeez, let me get the name of the mesh. So this one is the grass variation 1 lot 0. Oh, I can double click here to open the thing. We can enable nanite support for foliage now. That's something new. I don't know if this version handles, but that's something new. But what I want to do here, instead, let's work with LODs. So for this LOD here, we have to find the number of LODs that we have currently, and it is in here. Okay, so we have 7 LODs. I want just maybe 3 LODs and apply changes. Okay, now let's see what happens as we play. So now we get close. Yeah, not a big change. That's good. And if we get further away, yeah, that looks so much better than before, right? So that's a quick fix that we can use. The problem with this fix, so let's say that I've been painting those two. Yeah, here we can see the lot of one and the other one, right? How it changes. The biggest issue is that you have to do it individually. This one I'm gonna enable nanite instead. And we're gonna see how they behave similarly. So they don't change, okay? And if we go once again to our nanite view, we can see here all the nanite on the foliage, which is pretty cool. Let me see something. So right now, I'm noticing that I have an issue here because it's saying that the texture streaming pool it's over budget, meaning that soon it's gonna crash. Let me just save right away before it's too late. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. Settings, it should do the trick. Engine, scalability, and let's go to, instead of epic, let's go high. Let's see. Things improve. No, still over budget. Damn. Settings, engine scalability, low. Oop, looks like it's gonna crash. Oh, it looks so horrible now. No. Yeah, it's still over budget. Okay. So let's keep it epic because we want to see things really well. And material quality maybe low. And we're gonna see Pun. I think I broke it. Oh, it's preparing the shaders. All right. No, it's still over budget. Okay, later I'm gonna find a way to make it work better. Okay, but for now, let's keep going with the foliage stuff. Okay, so now I have my foliage. I can paint it everywhere I like, even for example in here. Okay, so you can make it smaller if you need to. And by the way, the same things we did for the rock, we can do here. So density, we can change the density so it's not so dense. What else we have here? Radius, let's make it maybe 0.5 for both of them. Scale from 1 to 3 times the size. That's I think I can do for both at the same time. Yeah, cool. If you select them all with Shift or Control, we can change here density 0.5 for all of them, radius 0.5, scaling uniform. Let's go from 1 to 3. Z offset, I want -5 and -10 centimeters into the ground, and I don't want to align to normal. So what is the thing with normal? Cool. Let's see here. So if I have it aligned to normal, okay, if I have aligned to normal, come on, paint, paint. Frame. Okay, nice. All right, so here probably was too steep. So this one is aligned to normal. See how it's following the face direction? I usually don't want that for my foliage. So I'm gonna uncheck this one and instead look how it looks better now. Is it different? I have to change for both. Okay. So now the grass is growing up how it should. Okay, so that's the difference between aligned to normal and not aligned to normal. So you can go around and have fun painting your foliage. You can paint things at the same time, like the rocks and the grass. However, I recommend placing all the rock first because now you can literally paint over the rock. It haven't happened in here, but you see the grass is growing on the rock. And one very important tip, foliage will grow wherever you have water. So like tiny crannies that we have here and there, we're gonna have some growth, or like corners where the water usually up, infiltrates or stay for longer, shaded areas and so on. Okay, and again, we can click here to uncheck them. So now I don't have anything on my palette, or I can check and paint only one specific type of vegetation, or I can paint it all together. So now I'm going to paint vegetation and rocks together at the same time. Okay, and maybe it's just too many rocks. Fine, density can be smaller, maybe 0.5. Now you have way less rock. Okay, and we can also change here the brush size and the paint density in here. So you don't have to change individually. Maybe you just want to paint less of everything that you have on your brush. So we can change in there. Let me see. Am I missing anything? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Any questions? Okay, now I want to show you something that might not work. Let's enable a plugin on our engine. How do we do it? We go to Edit, Plugins. Now here under Plugins, we're gonna find Water, and you're gonna enable this water plugin here. The engine will need to get restarted. Okay, it's a must to get the plugin running. I did it beforehand, so I'm just gonna demonstrate. So now that I have, so you restarted your engine, now you have the plugin enabled. We're gonna come here on place actors, or in here, all actor or all classes, and I'm just gonna type water. And we have, oops, water. Now we have a bunch of options for water. I'm gonna choose the body river. Okay, or I can come here and just type river, for example, water body river. And I will drag and drop it into my level. Hopefully it's not going to crash. Let's wait. If it's crashing, it's probably because your landscape is too big. So it's gonna lack memory to do everything and it's gonna crash. Okay. Hopefully this one is small enough. I think it is, because I just made it this morning for this purpose. Super. It usually crashes after preparing all the shapes. So you have to wait a little bit to see if it's gonna work.
You can create a little bit then. Like that. I would want to create it. And then you stack it with the middle like that. If that needs to be
Yes, use this. Let's hope it works. But yeah, it should all The big thing about this new water feature is something that's new and it's still on beta. It's not totally working. To think about. But the neat thing, I don't know if you can see here, but we have a line here. It's called a spline because it's a fancy line. It's not real English, it's a spline. So it's basically a line where we're gonna just place where we want it to. If you want a curve, you're gonna need a point there, and you're gonna make the curve. And then it's going to change your landscape to get the water working. So it's very handy if it can work. Super cool. Otherwise, we're just gonna sculpt the bed of the lake or the river or whatever, and then we're gonna place plane with a water texture on it. And we can do a water volume, so you can jump into the water, drown. No, no splash. Splashing, we need to check a hit on the water and then spawn a particle. You can do it as well. But it's not
Kind
that
of like when you had the movie shoot,
Yeah.
when things would explode,
Yeah.
but it's like a bullet.
But you have to pass the water, whatever the player hits, and then it splashes.
I feel like you could do that a really bad way, but it would
Yeah.
still kind of make it work.
Yeah. And there is also another plugin that's very, very cool, but I couldn't make it work neither here or at home. I don't know what is the issue. Maybe it's the landscape. It's too big. I will try to do a small one later. But we can make mountains just by placing splines as well. So you don't have to manually sculpt them. And if you just want to move your mountain around, no, I don't want it here, just want it there. You don't have to just sculpt everything. You literally just move the spline and boom, you move the mountain. That's how they are making changes to Fortnite for a while now, maybe 3 years already. This technology is around, but not very reliable. At least not for us. They have a lot of programmers who develop these tools, so we can like, troubleshoot very easily. But well, we are not epic programmers yet. Maybe one day. Oh, Jesus, already 12?
Did you hear about the change that Europe making where like they're requiring
Yeah, it's insane.
saying
We literally want to break over.
exactly.
Oh my god, guys, if this game dropped in the season, I'm just gonna start playing video games.
Oh my god.
Are they using
The first person shooter.
I'm joking,
Oh, Do you actually have your name? Do you have a couple?
Yes, my name is Lee.
Can we play any of them? Can we play any of them?
No, because it's been
Not
charged
yet.
now.
Oh, you can play on my computer for sure, because I have the old version.
Oh,
we
no.
have
That's actually pretty cool. They just took the puppets from the game, like the animation puppets, and they just made them like
Pre-release
in the
version.
normal game.
I saw someone, they're in the middle of the game, and they're like, if you guys want to play it, just come over now.
Yes.
You can't download it anymore.
You're gonna find a firm handshake.
Yeah.
It's on the same post.
It's very easy.
Yeah, but they rolled back on this season, so that's good.
Well, they wrote back on big companies, so it's only gonna be capped at 4%. That's not the latest I saw, because they don't want like square units. And Uhoyo, Division Impact, they don't want lawsuits for them. They work on it, because maybe Division Impact, everything's for the So what they did is they put a 4% cap on profit. So if you don't, even you only get 4% of your profit, that's only for like the big companies. So if you're indie, like 4% of your profit is
It doesn't make a lot of sense because you have to pay to use it.
yeah.
So they have to change the how much they are asking for the software.
Yeah.
Wait, so asking for less than or more? Less than.
Now, well,
It
it
should be.
depends your timeline because they rolled back on things that they said last week. So
And I was charging for Twitter now, so.
yeah, exactly. But I heard this amazing conspiracy theory that those are nice. So the CEO of Unity was the CEO of EA,
Ian running the Provo.
and so
Yes.
he sold a lot of his shares, and a lot of directors they sold a lot of shares of Unity before they talked about the changes, and now everything runs. Yeah, of course, everyone is
It's an
suffering.
inside job.
But he's doing this so he can kill all the indie market and go back to
Oh, of course, right?
EA.
And you know they do that, what, they're gonna kill the indie market for what, 6 months?
Yeah.
And then they'll be back, and somebody's just gonna develop their own software.
Everyone loves it.
Fuck this.
Exactly.
We want a squirrel with a gun and we'll build it.
Those are the best games, the stupidest ones.
Everyone's gonna buy it.
There is a game like this one on Nintendo 64.
Complete Battlefield.
Yes.
Complete Battlefield. You're in the school with them.
Oh, no, squirrel with a gun is an actual game.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah, no, it just came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're a squirrel with like
This is one really
fancy
stupid
garden
Oh,
shape.
see,
It's like a realistic squirrel with realistic animations and stuff. It's
really stupid. Yeah, this. My boyfriend loves this game. It's so stupid.
like, it's from the same people who made Go.
Like, you just have the stupidest gun. It's so great.
Squirrel.
Oh, okay, it's not broken. I was just waiting shaders, but the shaders are not
Oh, that's
related to this one. Okay, so now we can select the water brush. That is this guy here.
Oh, it's by tiles.
So if you select a specific node, like so, we can lower it. And as you can see, our water is already pouring down, and the terrain is changing to accommodate to, well, a river in this case here. So we can literally just
Oh,
build rivers super easy.
Can you raise
Yeah.
Battlefield?
Yeah. Can do whatever.
and we can
And
change the color by the symbol rocks. The water.
let me check.
Or when you change in the train, you can change the color of it.
I haven't played enough with this tool here. I will check for the water.
It's dark like me.
Oh, yeah.
It's white like
Yeah.
Okay, and here we can change a few things. For example, the depth of a river. We can make it deeper or less deep. The width, velocity, so that's how fast the water is animating. That's just it.
So rapid.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, that's it. But yeah, we can change these parameters. I invite you to check them individually because I haven't been playing a lot with these two because it wasn't working. Oh, here, fall off settings. That's one that is really bugging me. So maybe if we double this number, yeah, it's gonna work better. Edge offset, let's make it smaller. And Z offset, I don't know. Oh, that's how deep it is. But I don't like what's going on in here. I don't know why it's so bad. But anyway, the cool thing is, let's say you placed and you are happy with it. Go down. Okay, so now we have a river. We also can add ocean. So your ocean is going to happen outside of these things in here, these nodes. Okay. And here, as You can probably notice we have here like the sand going down, and I believe we already have like some water physics. No, we do not. Okay. We also have the lake that's quite useful. Oh, that's a huge lake. Let's place the lake in here by the end of the waterfall. Oops, too low. Okay. Then we can make things better, of course. Oh, and something else really cool about this thing, look how the textures are already mixing. This is really neat.
Why
Let's see if I can change the color of the water. Mm, Water albedo. No. I don't think that's the right place. Yeah, I have to find where to change the water color. But yeah, that's it. Well, since things are working apparently, let's try the other one. So once again, edit. We go to project setting. Oh, sorry, plugins, and this one we're gonna try landscape. No, it's not landscape. It's mm, landmass. There you go. So this plugin here called landmass, you can enable it on your computer. I already did here. So this one works a little bit different. I have to go to the landscape mode, and instead of using these tools here, I will use a blueprint tool. This one. Yeah, yeah. Oops. Okay, shouldn't have done that. Okay, so now right click and create a new layer. This layer we can rename it as, I don't know, mountains. And now here inside the mountains, I'm gonna click here on blueprint brush, and I will choose the brush called uh, custom landmass. Now if I click anywhere, hope it doesn't break. Yay, it's working. So we start with this tiny, weird looking mountain, but if you press Alt, oh no, not Alt, sorry. Oh no. Go back, go back. Yeah, there. Let's see here. Oh geez, I don't remember. Uh, Draw custom shape. Oh, okay. Now that I know it's working here, I will study and bring it again next week. It's been a while since I tested, and now I don't remember exactly how to make it into a mountain, but it's pretty cool. Trust me. I'll bring it next week. Okay. So now